I guess the competition over here is just much higher. I'd want to come over here and play, definitely. That's 100%.
And Simmons punching it over Tice.
Look, you're coming off quite a year. You're 24 years old, two-time All-Star now, named to an All-NBA team, All-Defensive First Team last season. Oh, by the way, featured honoree to the Forbes 30 under 30 list. So after being drafted just 4 years ago, do you feel like you're a veteran now in this league, or you're still trying to figure out the ropes?
I feel like I've learned a lot in the past 4 years, or the 4 years I've been here, but I have so much more growing to do. But seeing the rooks come in, it definitely makes me feel a little older. Especially if I'm able to, give them some advice and help them out through their transition.
Well, I mean, you've had to go through a lot. Let me ask you this. Which questions are you more tired of? Questions about your shooting or questions about your relationship with Joel Embiid?
Probably both. Probably both. I'm kind of tired of both.
Yeah, I get it. Look, you even joked about moving in with Joel, which would be, a lot given that he has a newborn at home. Have you witnessed Joel as a father yet? And has he changed at all now that he has like a little version of himself?
Nah, he's still Joe. I think, I spoke to him a little bit about it. He said less sleep. And that's one of the main things for him. But he's been doing well. He's been coming into practice with a great mindset and good energy. So he's been great.
Well, we know you know Joel well, and you've talked about how your relationship is growing with him. But what were your impressions of Doc before he got to Philly, and how have they changed since he took over and you've had some practices with him?
So far, Doc's been great. From the day I was able to talk to him in LA when I was out there working out, we sat down and spoke for a while. And just, his mindset and, what he knows from the game and, obviously being a player as well. He's experienced both sides. I think he has so much to give us, and we can learn so much from him. And I think he just wants to see us succeed and win. And we really believe in him and trust in him and the people he's put around us.
Well, he's been pretty outspoken about, his approach with you. He said he couldn't care less about your shooting, and then referred to how he won with Rajon Rondo after people told him he can't, quote unquote, win with a non-shooting guard on the floor. What's your reaction to those comments and, a comparison to Rondo?
Majority of the time, these comments are coming from people who've never touched the ball or never played at a high level, so I'm not really concerned about those people. At the end of the day, I'm able to score the ball. I make plays, I rebound the ball, I push the ball, and I'm one of the best defenders in the NBA. So at the same time, I have a lot to give. Everybody has aspects of their game that they work on. That's one of the things I definitely want to work on, continue to work on.
Well, so Doc now is the coach of the Sixers. Obviously spent a lot of time in LA where, he coached his son, Austin Rivers. Now he's going to coach his son-in-law. What do you think would be harder for you, playing on an NBA team where your dad was the head coach or your future father-in-law was the head coach?
Probably dad. I think that's a little tougher. You both know each other so well, and it's I think me knowing Austin and me knowing Doc now, he let Austin just do his thing. He's his own person. He has his own career and he's doing his thing. And with Doc, it's tough to. I've had my dad coach me at a younger age, so I understand it. You're not able to get away. He's an easy target, so I understand both sides.
Before you get into this unprecedented season, which is going to be filled with a lot of uncertainty, I just want to ask you a couple questions about the bubble. And what were you feeling when, you were watching your team and you weren't able to compete with them in the playoffs, and you saw them, end their season the way they did?
It's tough, especially against a team that we always want to destroy as Boston. They've had the number on us for a number of years now, and I think it's time that changes. So, my mentality watching that was, I got to get right and put myself in the best position to help my teammates next season for whatever situation I'm in and the team's in. So, going into this season, I'm really looking forward to it. It's kind of a fresh start and a new beginning for the team. With all the coaches, and it's exciting times.
What was the biggest thing in the bubble that you just couldn't stand?
I'm big on my food. I try to eat healthy and take care of my body with the food, so that was probably the toughest part for me. A few days I went by without eating, which sucked, but it got a little better, the further along we got.
There were days you didn't eat when you were in the bubble?
At the start, for sure, definitely.
After you concussed that fish, though, did you ever go fishing again in the bubble?
Yes, sir. Easy.
For sure. You know what's crazy about that? I can fish really well. And that's the annoying part. People only saw one. I don't think anyone
was thinking you can't fish. It's just your aim there to get back in the water.
It wasn't the aim. It's just when you're holding a fish and it starts flipping around. I mean, I'm gonna drop it.
All right, last thing. What happened to your Australian accent?
That's great because we don't really get that much publicity in Australia. I guess our basketball is just building up now.
So if I go home, it's gonna come out, especially if I'm around my mom. It's also being on the floor and being a point guard and having to communicate with people. You kind of just start saying certain words a certain way, so it's easier. But I mean, a simple one is basketball.
But you don't say it like that anymore. But if you're home, you're.
It depends. Yeah, it depends who I'm around. It really depends.
How is it? Say it again.
Basketball.
Thank you for your time. I really, you looked the part, all geared up. Good luck this season, Ben. I can't believe it's here already. The bubble feels like 5 years ago and yesterday all at one time. I can't believe, what it must feel like for you.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. Thank you, Ben. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.